Hello and welcome to a quick demo of the tool called CVE-Client, which can be used to manage CVE-services 2.x with CVE-JSON version 5 to be able to manage your CVE numbers as a CNA and manage your users as well. We'll quickly get started. The CVE-Client is a library provided by CERT as well as a full-blown web client that you can use to manage your CVE records. The source code is available freely at GitHub. There's a few details about how to use the client and how you can roll out your own client using the libraries provided, both the CVE-Client libraries and the third-party library provided by another person to be able to manage your CVE records. And there's a small document that describes the risks of using your API keys in browsers and what may be ways to mitigate that. If you'd like to install this on your own web server, there's also an install.md. You can follow that to install it on your IIS or Apache or any one of those web servers, or even in one of Amazon's hosted web server or Azure or whatever your preferred platform is for installing a client web service. We'll quickly get started. So when you go to this site, you can actually click on this link to basically open and use the client as it is. I'll show you how to log in and do a number of activities so you can have an idea of how this works. You're going to log into the testing site, and here's an option whether to keep yourself logged in long-term, meaning you can keep yourself logged in after you close the browser and start back. If you'd like to have a session that's only temporary, you don't have to click that. Here we go. Once you log in, you would be able to see all the CVEs that were either reserved or published by you in the recent days. You can sort them by their state, by CVE number, date of the last update. And there's another tab for users here where you can go and look at all the users who are in your group, and you can do different activities on users as well. You can search for the users. You can actually click on any of this user to get full information on the user. You can view the raw JSON record, or you can update the user to either reset his API key, or if you change his name or something, you'd actually get another button here that allows you to update the user's real name, his credentials, or him being active or not. Once you click on this active button, you actually immediately disable the user's ability to log in. So be careful about doing that. When you reset the API key, you'll get a warning whether you want to proceed. If you reset, the old login will not work as well. So that's a simple way to manage a user. You can also add user, in which case you can pick a new user and pick a preferred username and the role that you'd like. There's only 2 roles currently defined, and you can add the user if you have all the right credentials put in. As for the CVE management itself, you can go here to do other activities like reserve a CVE number. You can reserve one or many. By default, it defaults to 1, and it defaults to the current year. But you can, when you make a reservation for a CVE client, you can pick any year that's in the past or the current year to reserve one. And if you reserve multiple, you can choose a sequential or not sequential number of CVEs. Here, for example, we'll do 2 years. We leave this as a default year, which will be current year, 2022. And when I reserve, you'd see the success, and you'll see temporarily 2 of these CVEs that were reserved turned from green to white to show they were actually just newly reserved ones. You can pick any one of these CVEs to update them as well. You click on one of these CVEs and you can look at the JSON version of what it is. And you can try to edit and publish the CVE, which basically would be edit the raw JSON if you prefer that. Here we'll try to do a simple description of a CVE. Put the vendor name here at CERT, product as example product, and version as, say, a semantic version of 1.1.0. The status could either be affected, not affected, or unknown status. These two are the preferred ways for you to update your status. And you can also have a range of versions if you prefer that to a specific version. Another required field is your references. You can add a reference to your article, say CERT article number 12, and you can give a name to that article if you prefer. You can look at the JSON version of this, what it looks like, and when you hit on publish CVE, it'll actually publish this record in the CVE database and be available for everybody else. CVE record is now published. You can go back to view the CVE record and you can say show CVE data. It'll show you all the fields that you had updated recently. The fields are by their tree of relationship. You can see the raw JSON to see also what the tree looks like, or you can look at the way it's described here. You can also update the CVE with a new product version that's potentially impacted, and when you hit update, the CVE gets updated and the new version will be now published for all people to see. In the user management side, all of these CVEs also, you can search for the CVE by a particular year or by a particular specific number, the one we just updated, and it'll show you it was just recently published. That's why the green color is there. Or you can just erase the field to display all the CVEs that belong to you. The pagination allows you to go through multiple pages. You can pick per page number of records to show from 20 to all the way to 100 if you'd like. And that's the quick version of what you do. If you're concerned about your credentials sitting on the browser, you can always log out. There's also an option to disable encryption if you have any problem with your browser not being able to do encryption due to any plugins or any way you block capabilities that allow for encrypted data to be stored and retrieved from your browser. You can disable the encryption if you have these errors. To log out, you just hit log out and ask for a confirmation, and then when you log out, you're back here. All your credentials have been